Good morning, everybody. This is Adam Brenner with Elastic Path. For those of you who haven't met, I run the sales and partner organization here at Elastic Path. I want to thank you for joining. We're really excited to be able to share with you our what we call EPCC, Elastic Path Commerce Cloud offering. A number of you have been helpful in working with your customers and helping to guide us to deliver this offering. And we really appreciate that feedback. What we're going to attempt to do is give you an idea about kind of what the offering is, how does it fit, and ultimately, who would you need to go to if you wanted to get more information. Ultimately, any one of your partner account managers can help you get more info. So again, we're really excited. We appreciate you being part of the ecosystem and look forward to more and more great announcements as we're moving forward in the year. So I'll hand it over to John.
Great. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for the warm introduction, and thank you all, for those of you on the line, for taking the time out of your day to listen to today's webinar or to check out the recording. Now, if you've joined our most recent webinar in January, you've heard from me already, but if you haven't, I'm excited to meet your acquaintance. And so for today's webinar, in addition to Adam and myself, I'm also joined by one of my product managers, David Clark, who's been working very closely in getting this Elastic Path Commerce Cloud offering ready to market. So before we dive in, I just want to give a little bit more background about myself. So I am one of the newest Elastic Path employees. I joined actually a month ago today, and I joined Elastic Path after spending the last 5 years at Forrester Research. And at Forrester, I was leading their e-commerce research practice. I was the author of the B2B Commerce Suites Forrester Wave, the co-author of the B2C Commerce Suites Forrester Wave. But today really isn't about me. It's about a couple of things. It's about our Elastic Path Commerce Cloud offering. And more importantly, it's about what that means to each of you. And so we fully recognize and appreciate the important role that our partners play in our business. And therefore, we want to make sure that you hear about what we're doing early and often. And so expect these kinds of webinars to be happening on a more regular basis. We want to make sure that we're providing quick, snackable chunks of information about what it is that we're doing so that you are in the know. And so with that in mind, in today's webinar, we'll probably have about 30 minutes or so of content before opening up for Q&A. So again, short, sweet, and pack as much information in there as possible. But on to Elastic Path Commerce Cloud and the agenda for today's webinar. So just to kick things off, I'd like to do a quick refresh on some business momentum. And there's been a lot of it. As being a recent employee, it's sometimes difficult to keep up with the growth that we're experiencing, the new people joining the organization, and the volume of work on our table. After business momentum, we'll move into the main event, and that is Elastic Path Commerce Cloud, which we formally announced during NRF this year in New York just a few short weeks ago. And we'll walk through what makes Elastic Path Commerce Cloud different, the benefits that it brings to not only our customers, but you as our partners. We'll share who we see as an ideal fit, an ideal customer for this Commerce Cloud offering. And then we'll get into some of the nuts and bolts of what one gets when they sign up for Elastic Path Commerce Cloud and how we think about pricing it and selling it into the market. And before we wrap up, again, we're going to open up for Q&A. So like had been mentioned at the top of the webinar, feel free to submit your questions as we go. We'll be fielding those at the end of the call, so feel free to use the Q&A panel. And if there are questions that you have that don't get addressed in this webinar today, at the end, you'll see a slide that has my contact information on it. So you can always feel free to reach out to me directly after the webinar to address any additional questions. So on the business momentum side, Elastic Path is aggressively going after the market to seize the opportunity that we see in front of us. And when we look back at 2018, 2018 was really an incredible year. It's an incredible year of growth. It was really interesting about this growth is it happened all across the globe. In fact, of that 2018 new revenue growth, almost half of it came from outside that North American market. 40% of that revenue came from EMEA and Asia Pac. And in order to kind of support customers all over the world and support this growth, we needed more people. And so as you see here, Elastic Path recently eclipsed the 175 employee mark, which is about a 50% increase in headcount year over year. In fact, when I started on January 7th, I was employee number 177. And so we are continuing to grow, continuing to invest aggressively. And that investment is taking multiple shapes. We're filling lots of roles in sales, in marketing, in product management, product development, operations. And since the past year, we've effectively doubled our headcount in the sales and marketing front. And as you can see here on the bottom left, we're also putting a lot of emphasis on our product and our product organization, which has grown about 55% in that same time period. And so with our growth, Elastic Path is now powering over 900 sites across the globe. And all of this is made possible by a recent Series B investment led by our investors at SageView Capital. So a lot of stuff happening in 2018, all good things, growing the business quickly. And what this does is it sets us up for a really spectacular 2019. And so with those ambitious growth targets in mind and the things that we want to accomplish, we want to make sure that what we're doing from a product standpoint is aligned with where the market is and what the demands are in today's market. So enterprise cloud software as a whole, not new, not telling you anything new here. In fact, enterprise cloud software is kind of the norm for certain markets, say CRM. But commerce has always been a little bit different, and it's been different because there's a different load placed on cloud platforms than, say, the static nature of some of those other applications. And cloud, for many, wasn't ready for prime time in commerce. But as we look at what's happening in 2018, what's happening in 2019, times are changing, platforms are evolving, and businesses are increasingly looking to offload more of the non-business value-add functions of their IT organizations to services and software as a service in particular. And so over that time period, from the inception of cloud-based applications, these cloud platforms have matured and different approaches have matured to deliver these kind of high volume transactional functions for today's enterprises. So where does that put us today? Well, according to Forrester data, 61% of businesses have a preference for cloud when selecting a new commerce platform. And there is a huge market out there. The 2019 commerce platform market is being pegged as a $5.1 billion market. But that's just the delivery of software and not necessarily what you get when you sign up. And so businesses don't just want cloud software, they want cloud software that works for them and what kind of outcomes they're looking to drive. So this new cloud paradigm for e-commerce needs to be able to mesh well and merge with the ability to deliver differentiated and unique digital experiences and the kinds of experiences that really can only get delivered with an API-oriented commerce platform. So if you take a look at what Gartner thinks of the market is that in the next year, 25% of businesses that are selling online will be bringing commerce to the customer, meaning providing experiences that aren't reliant on a web storefront, but exist wherever the customer is and when their buying decision is being made. So it's about delivery in a cloud environment, but still being able to support, complex selling scenarios, multi-channel touch points, and being able to reach the customer where they are. So now we get to the $1 million question, or better yet, the question that's worth multiple millions of dollars. What is Elastic Path Commerce Cloud? So Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is a single tenant SaaS commerce solution that delivers the flexibility of our headless API first architecture that today's digital businesses demand, coupled with scalability, reliability, and performance that they require when thinking about delivery in the cloud. So that's at a high level what Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is. So why Elastic Path Commerce Cloud and why now? Well, our customers have told us over and over again that they appreciate the flexibility of our platform, but their priorities and the things they care about are evolving and they're changing. What they don't care about necessarily is hosting. Today's customers compete on the grounds of digital experience and not on the grounds of how efficient and optimized they can manage the operations of their application delivery services. So this means there's a foot race to differentiate on the grounds of digital experience. And, I have to say that's the kind of stuff that really excites us here at Elastic Path. And I think those are some of the things that really excite many of you. So Elastic Path is designed to equip our customers with that same powerful, flexible commerce platform that they've been accustomed to, but remove the entire thought process around how they host their software and allowing them to think more around how they innovate and differentiate for the future. So at this point, I fully expect you to be asking yourself, another Commerce Cloud? What makes this one so different than all the others? Well, for starters, like I mentioned, you get the same Elastic Path Commerce features. This is the same code base as our existing product, but it's been optimized for the cloud. It's the only true enterprise headless commerce platform out there, and certainly the only one optimized for the cloud. Now, in launching this offering, we've also focused on what it takes to get off the ground and running. In fact, through communications with Elastic Path Commerce Cloud, they wanted to be customer number one. They wanted to be customer number one quite quickly. They made this decision in Q4 of last year, and they're going live in just a few weeks. So this means that from a decision to go live, an enterprise rolling out an end-to-end commerce platform with Elastic Path Commerce Cloud can go live in less than 100 days. And because it's Elastic Path, like I was saying, it's the same powerful platform that businesses rely on to unify all of their commerce needs onto a single instance of software. So that means that every business model, B2C, B2B, B2B2C, and really every permutation thereof, as well as any touch point, be it web, mobile, kiosk, connected device or voice or any other touch point, is powered all through the same instance of software, just now delivered via our cloud solution. And let's not forget, this is enterprise-grade commerce. Now, to compete on the grounds of digital experience, you need to make the commerce experience unique. And so we support the same extensibility as our on-premise solution while providing the scale and performance synonymous with leading cloud platforms. Our offering still enables today and tomorrow's innovators to build commerce-enabled experiences regardless of touch point, and supporting all of the emerging digital touch points moving forward, making Elastic Path Commerce Cloud really the ideal solution for innovators and strategic partners that really want to breathe life into those innovations. Then lastly, a cloud solution shouldn't be synonymous with inflexibility. It shouldn't require a lock-in to one way of doing business and one platform to run that business on. With our Commerce Cloud offering, you're never locked in. As your business needs change or your strategies change, we actually allow you to move from one cloud platform to another. Or if your business requirements change, we actually even allow you to move from a cloud environment to an on-premise environment. So you've heard what Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is and what it does, but who are the businesses that are most suited to take advantage of this offering? So I want to walk you through who we see as the ideal customer fit. So Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is perfect for customers who worry about what the future holds. It's not for the customers who are worried about or have experience, it's for customers who have worried about or have experience getting trapped into an old version of, say, one of our competitors' solutions. It's for customers who pass the point of no return. And I don't need to name names, but those that are sitting multiple major versions behind, and an upgrade path for them feels just as much like a re-platform. It's for customers that don't want the IT overhead of managing and maintaining on-premise software. They don't want to have to forecast out their capacity needs to ensure that there's no downtime. It's for businesses that simply want business outcomes from their commerce investments. Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is also for customers that are looking to drive economic efficiencies into their software sourcing strategies. And these businesses are the ones that want to shift from that CapEx approach to an OpEx approach in their IT spend and really focus on paying for the service, paying for the outcomes, as opposed to large capital expenditures. It's for businesses looking to lower their total cost of ownership by reducing inefficient costs associated with managing on-premise software. and it's for companies that are looking for tried and true security and compliance capabilities at the enterprise level with their SaaS solutions. Lastly, Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is for customers that want more control and freedom from their cloud vendor. They want to have the flexibility to deliver unique experiences versus the kinds of blanket or template experiences they get from our competitors. They want speed and availability to stand up new sites. And what this boils down to is they want to operate their digital commerce practice at the speed that their customers work at. So what are the key benefits of Elastic Path Commerce Cloud? And so what's in it for you as a partner? You get a fully functioning commerce environment so you can start doing what you do best. And that's building the most iconic commerce experiences. You don't have to spend your time and around basic management of an instance of Elastic Path. You can innovate alongside your customers. And for those of you who still serve customers looking for more traditional hosting options, you can still offer them Elastic Path Commerce on-prem or even take advantage of our CloudOps tooling. Secondly, you also still have access to our Elastic Path experts. Our partner services and enablement team is here at your disposal. They're here to serve you and you alone in your work of transforming your customers' businesses. So always shine in the eyes of your customers by having the support and guidance from our client success managers and our assurance services. We also offer tools and frameworks to help you get off the ground running and to leverage our technology to build optimal experiences for your customer. We've built a starter store that all of you already have access to. In fact, that starter store is actually an open source project that we encourage you to take a look at and you to actually participate in. It's a fully functional React-based progressive web application, complete with frameworks for innovative experiences like augmented reality, chatbot integrations, and others. And we're always continually looking for ways not to just improve, but to ensure your success with our customers. Now, we want our customers to experience the benefits of working with you, and we want to make those benefits more accessible to those shared customers by making it easier for you to do business with Elastic Path. So let's talk briefly about the nuts and bolts of Elastic Path Commerce Cloud and what exactly customers receive when they sign up. So Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is our same commerce platform, but it's optimized for single-tenant cloud delivery. To speed time to value, we've created a series of reference experiences. That's that open source project that I was just mentioning. So some of you might think that with this starter storefront, Elastic Path is no longer a headless commerce platform. That is not the case. We are fully a headless commerce platform. We are not moving away from that. We are not trying to compete in the content management space. We're actually not even selling any of the IP around that starter store. So what we're doing is we're building a library of extensions and a reference experience that can get someone off the ground quickly to kind of be that initial launching point and to also showcase how customers and partners alike can leverage our technology and Cortex in particular and how they deliver experiences. Elastic Path customers and partners still get the same platform, the same support services they're used to. So this means they're getting the same headless CMS agnostic platform. We still support a wide array of external integrations, and we have the same richness of support for you, our partner community, with that partner success and enablement team. So moving forward, I want to make sure that you all know that Elastic Path Commerce Cloud isn't a thrown together offering. This has been something that's been in the works for a while and something that we've thought about pretty meticulously. And when creating this offering, really wanted to make sure it crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's for what enterprise customers have come to expect from their cloud providers. And so we've done tremendous amounts of competitive research to make sure that this offering is the right offering and that it provides the right service level agreements for the needs of our joint customers. And so what we provide in this offering is we have daily backups, full application monitoring, and application infrastructure support. We also offer multiple features around security certifications, like ISO certifications, SOC compliance. But the most important things are every customer gets access to multiple different environments, from dev to staging to production. They also have around the world, around the clock access to support. And we provide a 3 nines availability service level agreement with a 48-hour RTO and a 1-hour RPO. Along the lines of that extensive research, we've also conducted extensive research around how we think about sizing and pricing. And we've looked at the market and pricing for Commerce Cloud solutions out there, and we've created a model that I think ensures that we're reflecting the appropriate functionality and value that our platform brings to the market. So Elastic Path Commerce Cloud is designed, built, and scaled and priced for the enterprise market, but we are a privately owned company, and we do have flexibility to make sure that we price appropriately for the right deal. We really tend not to lose deals based on price. And along those lines, we realize that there's a wide array of pricing models and options available in this market. You know, there's everything from number of SKUs in a catalog to rev share to all sorts of other metrics for pricing out there in the market. And so we've centered our approach around 2 main volume metrics. One is gross merchandise volume, and the other is the volume of orders. And so, of course, we encourage you to do your own requirements gathering above and beyond these 2 high-level metrics. We want you to include things like the complexity of the catalog, the forecasted order volume over time, and what the requirements are around cloud hosting for things like geography, security, and latency. The short of it is Elastic Path Services, partner services, and enablement is here to help you estimate the level of effort for implementation. We try to keep how we price simple based on GMV and order volume, but we want to make sure that we're pricing appropriately for each and every opportunity that comes across our plate. And before I wrap up, I wanted to leave you with a couple of key takeaways. Number one, it's the opportunity that's in front of us. The market is demanding cloud-based commerce solutions. They're demanding it so much that 70% of new commerce vendor selections are favoring cloud solutions in 2019. And that's just indicative of the trend that we've seen over the years. And going up beyond into the future, cloud-based solutions will become the norm. But a SaaS-based solution isn't enough for leading enterprises. They need more than cloud delivery. They need a platform that grants them the flexibility and extensibility that they've been accustomed to with on-premise software. And that's where Elastic Path Commerce Cloud comes in. We offer enterprise flexibility and scalability because it's the same code base as our enterprise tested commerce platform, but it's just delivered as a fully optimized SaaS solution. So this makes us uniquely able to serve complex organizations or those organizations that might want to run B2B and B2C aspects of their business on the same platform. It also makes us uniquely positioned to lead the charge of SaaS headless enterprise commerce solutions. And lastly, we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to lower the total cost of ownership for using Elastic Path products. And this helps us do a few things. It reduces costs that we levy on our customers. It helps them shift from a CapEx model to an OpEx model. But most importantly, and I can't hit on this point enough, most importantly, it frees up their budget for digital projects to focus on important things, like the work they do and the work that you do to elevate and differentiate the experiences that you're creating for your customers. And that's really, why we embrace this partner-first model. That's really where you come in. We want our customers to be focused on innovative work, and we want them coming to you to continue to drive innovation, not just today, but tomorrow and into the future. We don't want our customers bogged down with the monotony of, operational logistics of running a commerce platform. And so with that, I promised you something short, something more snackable. I want to thank you for your time, and I want to open it up for questions. So we'll go ahead and we'll start going through the questions that have popped in. So let's take a look here. So the first question that popped in is, how do you handle development, integration, staging environments apart from production? And I think David, who's here on the line, is going to take question number one.
The approach that we take is that we want the development environment to be as much self-serve as possible. And we provide a complete continuous integration pipeline along with Jenkins and Nexus instances, as well as a QA environment and a staging, authoring, and live environments. This is a self-serve environment where you can manage your own jobs in Jenkins. You can manage the promotion of images from one environment to the other, and put in a request to have these images deployed.
All right, thanks, David. So we've got a couple other questions that are rolling in. So we got a question coming in via the chat, and the question is it possible to bring in accelerator plugins into EPCC? And the short answer there is yes. So the same kind of extension frameworks, plugins, accelerators that have been either developed here internally at EPCC, or those that that you've all developed on your own will work effectively the exact same way for the Commerce Cloud offering as they do on-prem. Let's see what other questions we have here. I think there was a question that kind of came in on the competitive landscape regarding how we see our fit and how that kind of stacks up against other cloud solutions. You know, there's been a huge push, obviously, in the market, but the maturity of cloud solutions out there is not what the hype would have you believe. And so, you know, there are, you know, the cloud solutions that have appeared in the market as of late, a lot of them are multi-tenant. They provide very, very, very strict guardrails as to what you can do and what you can't do. And so, you know, when we look at the customers that we serve, you know, the largest and the smallest, the reason why folks choose Elastic Path is because of the customization and flexibility that they have around architecting the experiences that are going to bring their business forward. And so those customers are not the ones that are going to look for a multi-tenant SaaS solution right now. They don't want to be locked into certain templated ways of doing things, or certain frameworks, or certain constraints for what you can expose to the experience layer. You know, they're really looking for us to kind of provide them that platform, that toolkit, that functionality to allow them to build whatever experiences they deem necessary for their customers. And so that's why we decided to go with the single tenant approach. It's our goal in delivering that single tenant approach and fully optimized SaaS offering, so that for our customers, it doesn't necessarily feel any different than a multi-tenant SaaS offering. The other piece of it is when you get into the enterprise space and you are doing a lot of volume, regardless if you are a B2C company or a B2B company or some flavor in between, there are peaks and valleys in your business. There's still seasonality. And so, you know, those customers don't want to be pushed updates when it's appropriate for the vendor they work with. They want to be able to select and consume those updates as easily as possible when it's most appropriate for them. And so that single tenant offering allows us to help our customers maintain an upgrade schedule, an upgrade path that's more easily consumable based on their business needs.
Okay, the next question, do you have a local development environment option? The environment for doing local development is the same as it would be for a traditional on-premise Elastic Path implementation. So you've got the same capabilities for development in your local environment. And all you're doing is using the Jenkins and Nexus and continuous integration and the testing capabilities in the cloud.
And so we got a question coming in. Can you do a webinar to actually demo these new capabilities? What we'll do is when we reach out with the recording and materials from today's webinar, we'll look to see what the appetite is for that. In the meantime, I'd encourage you to work with your partner alliance manager and to kind of, if this is something that you're looking to learn more about in the near future, we'll get you connected to see more about Commerce Cloud, to kind of take another cut deeper with regards to how you get up off the ground running and what's made available to you. I'd encourage you to look at, and we'll share this material in the follow-up as well, but I'd encourage you to look at our reference storefront, which is just reference.elasticpath.com. And we can provide all of the source code behind that reference storefront to you as a follow-up as well. That's how you can start to see how a lot of the functionality that we have in this Commerce Cloud offering come to life. But we'll certainly take that as an action item to follow up on. We'll wrap up with the recording due to some of the technical difficulties on the Q&A front. And we will go through all the questions that have come in via the chat. And we'll prepare a response document and share that with today's recording. Again, if there are questions that have not made their way through the chat that come up at a later point in time, or if you want to connect to talk more about our Commerce Cloud offering, here on the slide, you do have my contact information. I look forward to hearing from you. And with that, I'd like to thank everyone for spending part of their day with us to hear about our new offering.